Hi everybody, Jacob here. Welcome back to Totally Jacob. Today we're going to unbox the Fright Zone. I got Hordak ready to help me, and also Grizzlor. I hope this is going to be very easy to build. Haha, everybody's super happy. And we got Shadow Weaver. Now this is the Super 7 Shadow Weaver, but nevertheless, she is Shadow Weaver. Okay, so let's check out the artwork. Now, there's wonderful videos online already depicting the Fright Zone box art unboxing. So I don't know if I can add anything more to it, except that it's just really awesome. And as a kid, I did not have the Fright Zone. However, I do remember the more purpley colors, and we do get those purpley kind of colors on the other side of it here. This is kind of more that tone from the Fright Zone in the 80s, and this is a photo that's been altered somehow, either AI or I don't know what they did. I mean, even the dragon, and turns out it is a dragon, because there was this little booklet or a little special set with Grizzlor and who was it? Hordak? Plus a book and an audio tape in the 80s. Super rare thing that depicts a storyline introducing the Fright Zone back in the 80s. And this creature is named as the dragon. Okay, so it's a dragon, and it actually also spits fire in that story. But shout out to Serial Geek for that. Check out his channel. I'll post the link down below. That particular video is awesome. Really cool to see how much work you put into just, fixing the audio of that tape and like zooming into all the pictures from the booklet. And that's how we find out that that little guy is a dragon. Okay, so we have the drawing type of artwork in the front. And we do have some sketchbook art for the characters, which I guess if we're to follow anything that the Masters of the Universe Origins have thus far done, it's usually, if it's on a cardboard artwork of one of the products, it's kind of being teased as this will be released one day. So I wonder if these particular He-Man and Skeletor sketchbook, also Buzz-Off, the sketchbook artwork of Buzz-Off as well in his human form, which kind of looks like He-Man, if they're going to be released that way. The sketchbook Hordak with a more pointy kind of shoulder, I want to say shoulder vest sleeves being more pointy. And then we have, the Black Grizzlor has been released, although he's just like a really dark brown. And then we have this special Beastman, as well as Triclops. And then we have on the side here, for the gazillionth time, teased Slime Pit and a variant color of Modulok. I guess that was the Mexico release. I don't know. I don't have that one. So I did already open the box and pull everything out. So we're going to assemble it together now. On the back, we do see, this is definitely retouched, and I don't know what they did with the visuals here, because if we go really close up here, there's some frizziness and pixelation going on. So whoever was retouching this image, something went wrong there. I don't know what. It's kind of smooth here. The skin texture of the dragon seems fine, but it just here we get, and also up there, you see that kind of zigzaggy, something went awry in that portion of the tree right there. Kind of looks weird, but most of the image is smooth. There's some of it going on here. I think this was, maybe they did some AI stuff to kind of soften it, round it off a little bit, this whole picture, this whole image, and kind of render the mobility of these toys. It looks like a photo of the play set, which it probably is, but then they added some extra stuff to it, enhanced it a little bit digitally later. On the back of the box, this could be your front of the box. This is kind of my back of the box. Upper corner right side, there is what seems to be a non-retouched image of the back of the Fright Zone with the dragon. And then we have the already released Origins, Masters of the Universe figures, including, I think, in the prison we have Beastman, then we got Hordak, He-Man, and Mantenna in the back, showcasing the flip side of the Fright Zone, which was non-existent in the 80s version. I mean, you just had a kind of a hollow piece of plastic. You could technically paint stuff on the back of the 80s Fright Zone. I mean, you could do things, polymer, clay, add some stuff, probably. I mean, there's probably a lot of things you can do. But with the new version of the Fright Zone, you can just kind of flip it and take the front panel, put it in the back. So, let's see. This was, again, here's a little close-up just to explain better. You see here, this zigzaggy part, this area here seems to be altered. Something went wrong there. And then it becomes kind of more smooth down here. Yeah. All right, let's unbox the Fright Zone. Here is the inner box. This comes inside. It is the instruction leaflet for the Fright Zone with the sketched out version of the Fright Zone. And let's see, contents. These are all of the pieces that we get inside. And then we have the outside view. You can pause this image and thumb up the video while you're at it. Subscribe. Thank you so much. If you can pause the image if you wish to see it longer and up close. Also, I am not sponsored by Mattel. I bought this myself. So all opinions expressed in this video are my own, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. I am studying this instruction manual, one-time assembly, as we're going through it together. So that star means one-time assembly. So once that is in, it can't go out again. Once the tree is attached to the throne, it clicks in place. You cannot detach it again. But it does seem that there's no star here, which means the tree can be attached and detached later on. Well, that's good to know. And then the inside view, we have to attach the flooring. And then inside view, outside view, when the front panel is in the front. Okay, I see. So, yeah, then what else we got here? To play outside the Fright Zone. Okay, tree. Yeah, birds. We attach the birds to the tree. How to open and close the prison cage thing. Okay, I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess we can handle that. And then the tree opens up, lifts up and down, bites the characters, holds them, imprisons them, and then we have Rock Monster snatches Warrior's feet. Oh, by the way, in that little booklet that talks about this dragon, calls it a dragon that spews fire, there's also an actual rock monster that looks like an actual monster that attacks He-Man. To play to a transforming the Fright Zone. Okay, this is how we're going to flip it. Inside view, add, yeah, reattach the base. Okay. And that's how it looks flipped with the front base in the back. Got it. Inside the Fright Zone again. How to play from the inside. So He-Man is captured by the tree. Hordak sees him from the back, right? Weapon armory wall. Okay. And the secret entrance. Interesting because it doesn't seem like a lot of characters can fit through there. It's a very tight, snuggly fit, but apparently it works, especially for the female characters that are smaller. Throne for Hordak, trap warriors with tubes. The tubes are what looks more mechanical and more like the actual technical Fright Zone from the Filmation cartoon. Adds a little bit to, you know, the mixing up of genres between it being fantasy and also highly technological future. So that would be the entire leaflet. Fabulous. Let's see how far we're going to get here. Okay, so let's open it up. I snatched the monster, or the dragon, and it's, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody already mentioned this. I haven't seen any reviews mentioning it, but has quite an underbite. I mean, this is an underbite, okay, if I ever saw one. And it's, the mechanics here are interesting because as you move the bottom, the up moves automatically, or if you move the upper part, the bottom moves. The eyes are not, it's not a sticker, they are printed. Nice detail there. And quite articulated. Now it's very light plastic, it's hollow. The tip of the tail is more soft and rubbery. The rest is very hollow plastic. And we can rotate these little paws. Has 3 of them, and then they do move back and forth. But there is no articulation here on the, what you might call it, knee, or whatever part of the dragon this is. This is the bottom of it. Love this beast, and it is ginormous, by the way. So let's put it to the side first, and we're gonna get back to it sooner than later. The monster was laying here, kind of underneath this. It's kind of blocked in there. So that's how it arrives, right? So when we take, not the monster, the dragon. When we take it out, we got this stuff left. This is for the side entrance, cave to the Fright Zone. Glossy plastic. I love seeing all the details. It's going to kind of go like this. Attached to the back. Then we have the prison part. Methinks, and we got Hordak's insignia right there. Good old Hordak. And then we have the tubes, call them, the tubes that capture the prisoners, or whoever enters the Fright Zone. Whoever dares enter gets caught in these plastic tubes. And then there's a little screw there, metal screw, and here as well. Vines over here, little prison cage there, and then we have the pipe or the tube from over here, the gray. So that hole kind of goes through here, and then you see it there. But we will not see this when we add the bottom of the Fright Zone later on. Okay, so we're going to put that there. Then we have the tree. Okay. Oh, well, there it is. It does block into place from back here. That's the back of Hordak's throne. That's the tree, and I think the hands doth move. Yes, they do turn. Okay, so we can capture our enemies in the branches or the vines. And there's a little bit of tree here, but then there's also a little bit of... is there a little bit of tech going on there? Yeah, these little dots. I mean, it does look like an illusion. There's a bit of brush, paint, wash, whatever, dark wash going on there as well. They try to give it a little bit more detail. There's a perforation there. Thought it was painted black inside, but no, it's not. It's just green in there. And that's our tree. The top is not fully hollow, a little bit. I wonder if something can stand up here. Ah, here we have the tech part. This is when we realize that the tree there's some magic going on there. There's a technological aspect to it, which is very Masters of the Universe. I mean, especially when we hit the Powers of Grayskull part of it, which in the 80s kind of stopped before it could really fully take off. But we realize this illusion going on, this fantasy world, in this case Etheria, but also on Eternia. And behind whatever looks natural, kind of hiding underneath the surface, is something technological, sometimes at least. So there's a lot of possible storylines to do there. We got the bags with extras for... There's an extra vine, tech on one side, and organic on the other. We're going to need this later on. Soft plastic, kind of rubbery feeling. Are they ravens, crows, or some other fantastical birds? From Etheria, we do not know. There they are. Nice sculpt, and I think we have 3 of the same. Yeah. Indeed we do. 3 birds. They look fabulous. The birds from the 80s Fright Zone were not detachable. These are. I wonder if they have a Mattel logo somewhere on them. Doesn't seem like they are stamped with a date or anything. No, so you gotta remember that these are Masters of the Universe Fright Zone creatures. Couple of years, down the line, otherwise you're not going to know what it is. This is the inside of that prison cell hold chamber. There's a skull in there, just like in the 80s counterpart, and then a little bit of molded shaped metal chains. Oh, there's a rat in there as well. And then if we flip it to the back of it, it's just kind of the negative side of it. They could have done a little bit more here, considering that we do have 2 sides to the Fright Zone. This could have been done a little bit better. I feel they could have added a layer of something so that it looks nice on the other side. I'm not saying that this looks totally bad, but it is a little bit like, like an afterthought, And I think they could have done more. But okay, my skull, or the skeleton here, looks like a clown's nose. There's a little lump there. There it is, pressed in on that side. So this is the cave prison cell. And I am really liking the slight delicate sheen and gloss on this plastic. I know a lot of people love the mattified look. I love a little bit of gloss, especially for darker pieces like this one that are going to have like a door in front of it, because there's going to be a lot of shadows, and shinier surfaces reflect more light, so you get to see more details when there's less light falling on it. Now I have a really strong spotlight illuminating it, so you see everything perfectly. But when we have just regular lights, I kind of like a little bit of gloss because it just captures the light a little bit more than if it were completely mattified. Just my 2 cents on the topic. And then we have the throne. This would be the sitting part of the throne. See how slightly glossy it is? It's not fully shiny, you guys. The light here is really strong, so it appears to be more glossy than it is. It's kind of like between mattified and shiny. The throne is, however, very matte. That matte finish, very visible, and it looks like they did a little bit of airbrush there on the sides. Interesting that they chose to go with orange instead of the Horde signature red. But why not? It looks like this thing is kind of heating up from within, almost like it's going to start melting in the lava. Because yes, there will be lava here as well. Right there. Look at that evil face up there. Isn't that gorgeous? So it looks like a Horde face or some other monstrous face. We don't know it. The caverns of the Fright Zone. This face looks awesome. It doesn't look quite like Hordak, although that nostril with those nostrils, they do have a Horde-esque type of vibe to them. So whatever this orangey stone construction is, it does look like lava, although it doesn't really melt. It does have stone texture still, but it looks like it's very, very hot. We're going to put the weapons there. Speaking of weapons, oh, before we get to the weapons, let's open up this part as well. Okay, well, that was easy. So this is the side entrance to the Fright Zone, and the eyes are not printed. No, that's a pity. These are stickers. Not the best quality either. So, yeah, okay. Well, let's hope that they last. Those are stickers for the eyes, and then you got kind of soft, as you can see, rubbery teeth. And one wonders, can a character pass through without getting all scratched up? No. I wouldn't damage Grizzlor so much. I mean, yeah, they're showing us in the booklet, like, yeah, you can put your characters through there, but you know what? Maybe this way around. No, there's no way. I wouldn't force it. I mean, it looks great, you know, as a visual, but I would not force it and risk getting paint scratched off of the characters you push through. Unless they're not female characters, they're tinier, then they can kind of fly through easier. Or some characters that don't have so much harnesses going on their chest, maybe is easier to get them through. And then this is the front part, the cave exit or entrance from which our dragon comes through. And then we have that reminiscent of the sketchbook art for the Fright Zone rock monster face. There you go. So we got that. Then what else we have here? Oh yeah, we were talking about the weapons. So we have a second satchel. In here, and in it we have a few items. We have a Horde staff, similar color, dare I say almost same color as the one that we get with our Horde troopers. Oh boy, don't. This one is like giving up on me. There's more realistic if we put the face more down. Just a smidge of yellow poking out there. So this one, yeah, they're identical. It's the same plastic, you guys. I was thinking like, oh, maybe the color is slightly different. There's a different red. No. Horde Trooper and Fright Zone Horde staff with that little monster on top. Same hue of kind of reddish orange. Maybe this one is just a smidge lighter, but not really. Anyway. Okay, so what else we got there? We got another vine to capture our enemies. This one does not have that tech design on the bottom. It has no design at all. And then we have the two clips that are going to help, or the two little things we're going to poke into the sides of the Fright Zone to keep it together, the two sides, the left and right. We got a blaster. What is this? Mosquito's blaster? Looks like. And then we have the classic Horde little staff bow thingamajig. There you go. What is this? There's a bit of plastic still attached. Look at that. It looks like that little red plastic thread that starts there. It just kind of hangs like a little spider web. So that's how we shoot. I'm going to take that little spider web thread of plastic off later. And that's it for the weapons and all the other extra bits in there. then we have the door. The wooden door, which is very similar in shape. Oh my gosh. Very similar in shape to the 80s version, although the 80s version had a mechanism up there on the top of the Fright Zone. You kind of click it and then this thing just opens up. Not anymore. Not anymore, you don't. Now we're just gonna just plug it in there and then you plug it in here. So you plug it up or down there and up here. Or maybe let's first plug it up here and then down here. And that's it. So it clicks there. See that little kind of open like that? So that's how it clicks in place. And that way it also stays closed. See, it doesn't kind of open up. Doesn't fall out, but you clip it. You clip it out. And then you open the door. And then it clicks back in. Done. That's done. What else we got here? So this is the floor of the Fright Zone, which can either go into the front of the Fright Zone if you fold the Fright Zone to be functional in the front way, or you bend it to kind of add this floor in the back. So this would be the monster rock that kind of catches whoever dares come there. Poor Grizzlor. We're going to use Grizzlor again. Yeah, okay. So I have seen people also mention that the fact that this trap doesn't really work properly because there's a little thing, there's two little things blocking it there. But there's beautiful sculpting on the inside with bones. Can we take this out? Maybe I should heat it up first. I don't want to risk it, break something. But technically, yeah, you could kind of just plug these out. And then this rock monster would reveal more of the cool design of bones and skeletons down there. And they're very tiny, so it looks like this is a very deep fall, right? The rock monster eats you and then you fall very deep inside of these caves. But there's some plastic blocking these two right there. You see that little thing there and there? They are not allowing us to fully close this rock monster. You could technically also plug it in behind it, but then they would always stay open. Then they wouldn't close anymore. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Well, yeah, you could definitely take those off somehow, or create a little angle here to make this just kind of go through so that these can close fully. Because it's not like they can capture somebody just like that. Not really. I mean, unless they're not laying down, then you could. But they can easily break free from it. All right, so there's that. And then we also have the back floor for the back side of the Fright Zone, which would be, this is the back. We're going to assemble it all together once I get rid of the box. So I think there's nothing left in this cardboard box. No, we got everything out. So now I'm going to take the box away and we're going to assemble the Fright Zone. Now I have all of the parts out for the Fright Zone, and I think we have to start with these two. So let me move stuff around a little bit because we have to attach the two sides of the Fright Zone together. So that would be these two. like so. Right? And, oh, it's a nice kind of mountain cavernous type of vibe. It's a softer plastic, but it feels sturdy. It doesn't feel like a plastic that's going to dry out and kind of crack and break, you know, after a minute, after a decade or two. So we're talking about, in particular here, the back of the Fright Zone, right? So we have to click this in place. I suppose. Let's see. Yeah, it's not that easy to, okay, bring these in position. I mean, we will, but, okay. Yep. All right, so this is going to go in here now. It's going to click like it did, and then the bottom, oh, got it. We're going to do the same here. I'm going to line these and then click it in place. I mean, would it have been cool to kind of have this close like this, you know, like Castle Grayskull, and then have it, I mean, you could, but it doesn't click into place, obviously. It's not meant to be fully closed and transportable like Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain, for that matter. But then again, also Eternia doesn't, the playset doesn't, it's not, you know, you can't just clip it together. It's not portable either. Then we add the front. Now I personally, well, before we do that, let me do the back first. I don't think I'll be displaying mine on the reverse side. I mean, I've been thinking about maybe getting a glass vitrine that is visible on all sides. So I could walk to the back of the vitrine and then see the back, like a glass display case. In which case we would have the back. And speaking of the back, let me attach the back panels. So here, I'm going to attach this part. It's going to click into place there and there. Oh, and don't forget to slide it in here. Oh, that's very reminiscent of Castle Grayskull. Nice little technical homage. All right, did it click properly, both sides? This is how it looks at the bottom now, underneath. We have a hidden little bit of lava there now. That's kind of cool to know that it's there, but not really usable. But you know it's there, so you could technically use it for something. I don't know for what. All right, so that clipped into place, I think fully, yeah. And then we are left with this panel or floor, which will be attached via this side to the back of the Fright Zone. We're also going to slide it in here. Same mechanism as before, right? We have these little tracks on both sides, here and here. So let's slide it in. Clicks in, very satisfying click. And that's the back of the Fright Zone. We can technically add the weapons, right? I think that this one goes here. This one maybe goes there. And then the I'll have to figure out what goes where. I'll check that out in a second. But let's do this first. So now we're going to flip it. Put it into this position. And then up here, we have screwed in place where we're going to attach the throne and the tree. That's a whole thing that we also have to do. But let's first deal with the front panel of our diorama, because this, I mean, it's looking more and more like a diorama to me, you know. There's a lot of playability here, but it's a great display set. So we're going to clip it in here, there, and there. 4 major clip moments. And then you see we were talking about this little gray thing for the earlier for the metal, not metal, the plastic things that look like metal, these little tubes here, right? And so they click in. Do you see that hole there? Right here. They clip into place, and then on this side, you see that gray poking out. Well, we're going to hide it now because this rock formation is going to cover this. There you go. This one is not really clicking fully. That wasn't a very satisfying click. But I guess because this is meant to be detachable, so it's very loose. It's a loose click, but here it is. It looks awesome. Really, really looks awesome. And then we're going to add our prison, which, by the way, can be attached this way, but also if you want to play with the back of the Fright Zone, you could detach it this way. And it will click into place either way. So you can have it there. So you have your little prison area to hold the enemies that are trying to infiltrate the Fright Zone. Because otherwise, you know, you see, this is what I meant earlier. Because if that prison cell is positioned to the front, and then you want to play in the back, you get these weird rocky formations. I mean, they could have done something, I don't know. Sculpting a little, something to give us an illusion of, I don't know, computer maybe would have been nice. Like to have a little computer set here for them to operate. I don't know. Something, but just not this. Because like I said, if I do want to use like a glass display set and display front and back, then I got to choose where the prison is going to be, front or back. So if it's in the front and in the back, I got this. Not very pretty. But so let's put the prison cell that way. There you go. Clicks into place. Super easy. Here, I got to say, we still do see a little bit of that gray poking out there. You see it? There it is. But from the front, you don't really see it that much. Let's take a look at the tree on top. Now, the setting that I have for my display in my glass case, where I want to keep the Fright Zone, the glass kind of shelving units, I could move them around, but then like if I create such a huge space for the height of the Fright Zone, then I'm going to lose space for other things I want to display. So I will personally be displaying the Fright Zone with the tree on the side like this. But anyway, for the sake of building this together, so let's just envision the tree up here for now. And I gotta say, in my glass kind of setup, the tree next to it looks really cool. We're gonna check that out a little bit later. But so I'm not gonna clip it in place. However, we will build up whatever we need to still build up for the tree. We have the back of the tree, which is the throne, Hordak's throne. Would have been really cool to have this part kind of detachable so that we could build Hordak's throne on its own without the tree, but okay. So this is a one and done click. Once we click this in place, there and there, this part and this part, there's no going back. So we got to make sure that everything is done right. People have been saying that for the cape of Hordak, if you do have the Hordak toy that has a cape, there's a little slit left open back here so that you can kind of put the cape in there. Because Hordak has a plastic cape for the most versions of him in the MOTU Origins universe, at least. Oh boy, is this going to clip? Yeah, this... Okay. Yeah, that felt weird. But yeah. Oh, there's a lot of room. There's a huge, look at that room back there for Hordak's cape to slide in. And this would be his throne. Now, the cartoon version, the Filmation version of Hordak does not have a cape. So, you know, but he can't really put his legs up that much either. Can't kind of fold them too much. But so he can kind of have the pose of sitting. Not really. He's more like standing. Until did not make him very, I don't know, posable that way. Can you, Hordak? No? See, he's kind of standing sitting, okay? You know, it kind of looks like he's sitting, even though if we take him off, he's like barely sitting. But okay. This little vine here, which is this one, the tech side and the organic side. It's also a one and done click. They say once you click it in place, it doesn't go out anymore. That's how it looks. Kind of awkward. Like this is like falling a little bit of hair. Because you don't want to see the technical side if all the other branches are not looking tech. So you want it like that. But then you see the technical side from underneath. Yeah, okay. And then we got the birds. So I guess we can just position them anywhere. They clip in. Yeah, they do. Relatively easily. So let me put one here. And the third bird, I guess, maybe here. Or, that's a bit awkward. I mean, because it's hitting the tree here. Yeah, unless... Okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. There you go. So if we were to put this on now without clipping it in place, that's how it would look. Now, obviously, if I don't clip it in place now, the weight of the throne in the back is going to make the whole tree fall. So let's just leave it at that for now. Let's put the tree back down. And if we flip it, because like I said, I will be... Oh, okay. It stands. There you go. You can have the throne there as well. Now we have this vine with no tech at the bottom. That one is going to go... We're going to clip it in here. Let me take the throne off for a second. It goes... Oh, where did we go? Right here. So let me put Hordak there. Right there. So let's see. This looks a little bit... Okay, well, it's kind of rubbery. So it can clip downwards and then stay there, or it can clip upwards. But not further up, I guess, because then there's going to be... The tree here would block it, probably. Yeah. I mean, it could go higher, but technically, it kind of lingers there or goes all the way down. And then there's a little mechanism here to stop it, that little hole there. Kind of, yeah, clips there. And then let's figure out the weapons. On the instructions, we see here how the weapons are placed. And there's the weapon rack. And magically done. Grizzlor is extremely happy that all of the weapons are stored properly where they belong, in the weapons rack. And that will be it. With that, there are no stickers to be added. Oh, Hordak fainted. What's wrong? Got an issue? Got a problem? Yeah, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems here. So that's how it looks like. Let's check out, let's have a little total overview. This is the finalized Fright Zone. My tree, I kept it detachable. That's why it's a little bit kind of hanging to the side, because I want to place the tree next to the Fright Zone in my display case. The monster is, the dragon is huge. It's literally basically the whole length of the Fright Zone. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the full length of it. And yeah, it can go through the little portal cave entrance, just like its glove counterpart from the 80s. However, you can't bring the whole body to go through, but you can make the head and the front paws come through. We're going to do that in just a second. It's a really big playset. Now, this is how it's going to look for me. Like that. And then it's going to stand a little relatively high up on a shelf. So you're not going to see it kind of downwards. You're going to look at it more straightforward. And there's going to be another layer on top with another playset on top of it. So you're not going to see that little thing. It's not going to, you know, annoy the visuals that much. So this is kind of going to be the viewpoint. Now let's see how we can get the, or, I mean, you can flip it and have the throne right there. Now let's see how the dragon can get through there. It looks really gorgeous just as a close-up as well. And let's take Grizzlor out of the way for a second. You can look in that direction, however, Grizzlor, because there's a dragon a-coming. Okay, so the dragon is now here. Hi, everybody. And so we're going to lift its paws. Well, let me just close the mouth. Lift the paws. It's like he's holding, or she, or it's holding its face saying, oh no, what are they making me do? I know. And there you go. And then we lift its paws up like that. And then I think we should be able to maneuver it through somehow. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Oh, it works almost like a charm. Not, you know, not too much like a charm, but look at that. I mean, it can fully go through, and then you put its paws back down. And I mean, I'm talking like fully, okay? That's a huge amount that went through. Look at that. And then in the back, I mean, it looks the way it does. It's trying its best, okay? To fully get through, right? But at least, look at that. At least that part went through. Let me flip it. It's perfection. I think it's, if you just want that photo up, you know, that moment in time, mimicking somewhat the look from the 80s of the dragon coming through. There you have it. That's the frontal view. Hordak is not impressed. Grizzlor a little bit more. And then, of course, Shadow Weaver flies in and she's like, oh my gosh, okay. Go back in. Go back to your home. You can't. We're in the middle of filming something. Thank you. monsters today. Like, you can't really. You know what? You know what? I'm done. And, well, okay. And what about the Horde Troopers? Horde Troopers are being called in. Go back in. Like, you can't. Like, you can't. You can't do this. We're in the... Yeah. The poverty. We're all ready for it. We're ready for the attack. But there's just like no Hema. There's no good guys. You guys, you're just left all alone to yourselves. Here. Time bomb. Whatever this is. Let it explode. I know it's from a cartoon. See? Here's that happen. And then Time Warp opens up. And then we have a very ancient Hordak popping up from the sketchbook. But, it could be the ancestor of Hordak. He's like, wait, hold on a minute. This used to be my playground. This was like a super cool place to live, and look at it now. It's like fully, it's in ruins. Give me my home back. And then, of course, the Shadow Grizzlor, as I like to call him, he appears also from the past. And then he confronts the other Grizzlor, and he's like, wait, yeah, something ain't right here. But the interesting thing is the dragon has always been there. The dragon has seen all of these characters go through wars and battles, and the dragon knows more than anybody else. But is it willing to tell the truth? We don't know, because you got to learn its language, right? It doesn't really talk the way all the other characters in Etheria are talking at the moment, at least the ones from the Horde. There is a character, however, out there that seems to know and speak the language of the dragon. Who that might be, maybe in our next episode of No More Whispering Woods in Etheria, period. That's the name of the show. I hope you liked this unboxing and build of the Fright Zone from the Evil Horde. If you had fun, thumb up the video, bling, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Hope to see you soon in my next one. Bye.